Hello, welcome to Benesky Museum, which hosts one of the largest collection of trace fossils in the world. Trace fossils are any kind of fossilized evidence of a prehistoric organism and can tell us a lot about its size, behavior, locomotion, and even the environment it lived in. However, trace fossils do not refer to the remains of the organism itself, such as a skeleton. My name's James Knowlton, and today we're going to take a look at the enigmatic Climactichnites trace fossil. Climactichnites refers to trace fossils discovered in North America during the late Cambrian period, about 500 million years ago. They have been found up to 30 centimeters wide and 6 meters long. But what makes this fossil so important to the archaeological community is that we don't know what created it, making it one of the greatest enigmas in paleontology. However, we can still deduct some things from this fossil, such as information about its environment. Let's go take a look at another Climactichnites fossil outside. Welcome to our rock garden. Here we can take a look at a Climactichnites fossil in the sunlight and imagine what kind of environment it may have lived in, even though we don't know much about the creature itself. We do know that it was created about 500 million years ago, tens of millions of years before we believe even plants started to live on land. This means that the landscape would have been rather barren, not full of green life like we see around us. These may have been even some of the first organisms to move about on land. We also know that most of these fossils are found in sandstones, typical of beach and coastal environments, suggesting that these tracks were created as a creature moved about on tidal flats. Finally, the last clue to these creatures' nature is actually the fact that there are no body fossils. A complete lack of a fossilized skeleton can most easily be explained if these animals were invertebrates, or animals that lacked a bone structure that could be easily preserved. This fits with the idea that the first animals to set foot on land were actually invertebrates. So with this knowledge, what kind of creature do you think may have created this fossil? What was the first thing that came to mind when you saw this fossil? Did it look like it was created by something being dragged across the ground? Or maybe a bicycle or motorcycle tire? Perhaps something out of a sci-fi movie. Try and picture what kind of prehistoric animal could have made such unique tracks. Currently, the leading theory on Climactichnites is that it was created by large, undulating, slug-like marine organisms that may have looked something like this. The maker of Climactichnites likely lived primarily in near-shore marine environments, which, as the tides rose and fell, were sometimes exposed as land, and some paleontologists believe that these animals may have been the first to set foot on land. However, there are still some aspects that are confusing, such as the raised ridges in the tracks. What might have caused those? Creativity is a very important skill for scientists. In order to learn about novel species, we first have to be creative enough to imagine new ideas and possibilities that no one may have heard of before. And always, you have to keep asking questions in order to find the answers. Observation and inference are tools that scientists use to gather information to make hypotheses about what might have or may still be happening. Today, by learning about Climactichnites, use both of these tools to first observe and learn, and then to creatively make new ideas about what might have made this fossil.